It's night and day. Night and day back again.
Yes, back in the world of Final Fantasy Record Keeper.
Yeah, we're back this time, once again in the world of Magicites, but this time to show you guys a 5-star Magicite, the newest released level of difficulty, the biggest and the baddest that there is in the Magicite world. Unlike the other stars, you can see here, there's 2 monsters for each 5-star. So this time we're going to be fighting the King Behemoth. The way these work is, one of the 5 stars for each element is resistant to magic, and the other one's resistant to physical. So you have to have, not only do you have to have an element team now, but you have to have a magic element team and a physical element team. So they're really making you, work to get a bunch more gear, because that's how these games are driven.
Right. Makes sense.
So
that's pretty cool, though.
This time we're going to dive in to King Behemoth. He's the one who is weak to magic.
So is he the hardest one you can fight currently?
5-star in general is the hardest level of Magicite that exists in the game. These are probably the easiest 5-star ones, though. The lightning guys. Although at this point only the lightning guys and the water guys have been released. So there's only 4, and eventually there's going to be 16. Yeah. So only the first few have been released. So what we're doing for you with this one, guys, is we're going to take you through the King Behemoth fight, but we're doing this a little bit differently than the last one, because since this fight is harder, my team definitely can't sub 30 it. And one thing that's different about the 5-star Magicites is their attack are completely scripted. There's no random turns where they choose between a move set of 5 things or anything like that. It changes up based on how weak they are, like how much damage you've done. They start doing harder attacks or things like that. But overall, their moveset follows an exact pattern. And so because of that, and because of the increased difficulty, I had to pause a lot while fighting this guy so I could check exactly where I was in his turn set.
Oh, right.
Because although I can beat them, I definitely don't have the stuff to sub 30 it. So it's more like we can beat them with a similar team to what we did with the Ixion win versus the Lightning Horse.
Right.
But it takes a lot longer. I usually sub 60 it, but it's right at that point. It's right about a 60-second on the clock fight, so it's much longer. And if at any point not at any point there's a little bit of leeway, but at certain points if you screw up, then your entire run is wiped. Because the way I'm doing it is, like I said, similar, like right there. He just killed us. So we keep popping back to life with Edge's ability. It's like, and also, Ignis also gives us last stand. So either Edge or Ignis is giving us last stand here, and if we miss one of those, and he hits us when the last stand has already proc, then we die. The run is over. So given I haven't fought these as much as the 4-star, and they're harder, and one thing screws the entire run, because of all that combined, I pause a lot. So what we did was, here's an example. Went through and edited this so that we removed most of the duration of any of the pauses. So you guys can let me know what you think. If you think that this is like unwatchable because there's too many pauses, then okay, we won't do anymore. Or if you think you don't care and you're cool with seeing it because it shows, a win is a win, the strategy's there and the pauses aren't that annoying, then that's fine too. So you can let us know what you think.
Yeah, for sure. Because it definitely seems a lot harder right off the bat than most of the other ones that we've had to come across. So the pause is definitely for a reason there. But he looks so badass.
This King Behemoth type. Behemoths are a common monster in the Final Fantasy universe.
Right.
I think the first one was in 2, and they've been in almost every single game since. But this particular incarnation is from Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, okay. What is he thinking of? Is he thinking of nuts? Like there? Is that
No, that means
it's like peanuts or something?
he has a weakness to Earth right now.
Oh, okay.
The Magicite that we're using in this fight is the Shell Dragon, so we use that to give him what's called Imperil to Earth, so all our Earth stuff does more damage. So he's constantly saying Earth.
Yeah.
I guess he's saying Earth squared armor down. This is a strange...
Yeah, he's just psychotic. That's why they're being pitted against him.
Earth squared armor down would not be as intimidating as this giant dude with a buzzsaw who's just constantly thinking of nuts, honestly. Because if you saw a giant guy with a spinning buzzsaw, you would not want nuts to be the first thing on his mind.
That's true. It's like, this guy's got an agenda, and I don't want to see this pan out. But yeah, he's just running at me with Earth squared armor down. I just think he's trying to hype up his new song that he's created. Oh man. So who's all on the team again?
Yeah, we got actually the exact same team as we had for the horse Ixion, the 4-star lightning fight.
No changes at all.
No, well there have been changes, but not to the party. So we still got Onion Knight, Edge, Shelke, Maria, and Ingus.
Okay. It's just their abilities and
yeah, we're using different things for each one. So Ingus is still there because he has that Earth chain. It says attested strength, yeah. And Edge is here. We're basically using a harder strategy with kind of less room for error version where we're relying on Edge instead of a healer. So we have no healers. Edge, we're feeding Edge with Shelke. We're feeding him so that he always has enough of a meter so that he can pop a soul break whenever it's needed.
Okay.
Because yeah, as soon as you get hit, pop. We need to make sure that we have. In this case, we're not doing Edge again because we have Ingus coming up right away. So we don't want to kind of trip over ourselves. We want either one or the other.
Right.
It's going to be Edge most of the time because we're feeding him the soul break and all that. But yeah, so Edge is basically serving instead of a healer, and he's also using non-elemental magic. Before versus the horse, he was doing all these earth attacks because he could help, but those are physical attacks, so they don't do any damage to this guy. So instead of hitting him for like 700 3 times, he can hit him for 10k twice. So yeah, we've got Onion Knight is also using his buff move called Forbidden Wisdom. It's his USB. Okay. So before Onion Knight was kind of attacking versus Ixion. Here he's attacking a little bit, but he's also using his move to buff the team instead of feeding all of his excess meter to Edge.
Right.
So here Shelke is pretty much devoted to Edge after one thing to Maria at the beginning. And Maria and Onion Knight are the two primary damage dealers.
Okay.
Maria is still using a BSB, which is kind of old tech. Like this thing that it looks devastating, but it's an older soul break. But it still works great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's monstrous.
Yeah, some people say, BSBs are dead and and only try to go for the newest type of stuff. But no, I mean, you can use these things. They're still viable. Not every single one of them, but still a lot of them are pretty good. And some of them are even good enough to be used in the highest level content. Wow. So...
if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to jump to the new stuff. The new stuff isn't always best, and the old stuff isn't always obsolete immediately. So, there are a few free turns where the Behemoth, King Behemoth will buff himself.
Oh, okay.
Or he'll try to heal himself by shooting lightning at himself, which he absorbs and gains HP from that, because he's a lightning kind of guy. So...
That's what I said right off the bat when I saw him. Now this guy, he's a lightning kind of guy.
Yeah, now he's also saying, lightning is good.
That's what he was saying, okay. I thought he just really liked the Flash on CW.
Oh yeah, it's like, I gotta get me some nuts and watch the Flash.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do.
These guys out of nowhere. I thought this was a human party.
Yeah, a lot of time behemoths are Like they're more feral, like they're creatures that rush you on all fours, like a kind of a gigantic panther or something like that.
It's like a rabid dog kind of thing.
Yeah, but in some of the Final Fantasies, they stand up and they can attack you from their hind legs.
Oh, okay.
In this game, they start on all fours, but then after you do enough damage to them, they stand up.
Oh, cool.
And they whip out the buzzsaw and they're like, no.
I was just playing around before. So do they have like a mission that they do, or is it just kind of like this is another enemy, they just kill you on sight kind of thing?
Behemoths?
Yeah.
It depends on the game.
Oh, so
they're not usually like a sentient race where they have a specific objective they're trying to pull off or anything like that. It's not like so
they just kind
mostly
of
they
see you and they want to kill you kind of thing.
Yeah, they're usually like right there the Behemoth
go.
just healed himself,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to. So if you are doing this and you're watching the move list closely, then you know right there. That's why I could smack him with Edge's Phantasm last turn, because he was going to cure himself there. We could save the Edge refreshing this move, Evelyn Doppelganger, right now.
Right.
So if you watch it closely, you try to get because right there he just did another buff to himself.
Right.
So that he can say that he likes the Flash, otherwise known as Thunder. So if you watch that move list closely, you eke out every bit of efficiency, and you can do it with even older tier gear, older tier relics like what I have here. The only USB I'm using is from Onion Knight.
Right.
Everyone else is using... Well, Chain is technically at that level. But Maria is the primary damage dealer here, and she's using an older tech, like I said, the BSB, and Edge is using SSB. And Shelke has a BSB right there, Synaptic Net Dive, but we're not using it because she's feeding 100% of her bar to Edge, and it really doesn't do much to this type of boss. Yeah, you can see, mostly it's the similar strat to the horse. Ignis, we're using him for his chain, and then we're just pumping as much damage as we can out of Maria as fast as she can.
Right.
Because it's a 60-second fight instead of a 30-second fight now, we're not using that Thunder God mode, what do you call it, record materia on Maria. Because before the concept was just beat him down as fast as possible, and that thing makes you super fast for the first 25 seconds. But since we can't beat him within 30, then we just gave her something that ups her damage instead. That's going to last the entire time.
The entire match, right. Makes sense. And this thing it looks like it should wipe him out immediately.
Oh, yeah. The graphics are definitely... it looked like it'll wipe everyone here out.
Yeah, it's going to like force extinction upon everyone in this realm, but I guess not.
Oh, that's the other good thing about Edge's thing. Like you just saw, he missed us. It said miss on everybody with that last attack. Edge's thing also gives you a physical blink, which is great because this guy has a lot of lightning attacks, which will not care about the physical blink, but he also has a few attacks that are physical, including one called Savage Sunder, which if it hits you, it'll dispel your haste. So Savage Hurl, not as big of a deal. It'll do an interrupt, but Savage Sunder will wipe the haste off of your entire team. And if that happens, it could cause a wipe immediately. Because as soon as you are going at normal speed and he's still going at his speed, then he'll get like 2 or 3 moves in a row before you get to go again.
Right.
And you can't live through that.
Oh, man, yeah, for sure. Oh, man, that's crazy. So those blinks those aren't chance-based. Those
right. It's 100% the next physical attack will miss you.
Right. God.
Pop. Yeah, he constantly kills us. This entire battle after the very beginning.
You've been dying constantly over and over, but still just be able to come back. And like as soon as he comes back, it's like comes back strong afterwards.
Well, we still come back with no life. Like you can see the
HP bars.
Yeah, down. They're empty.
It's like coming back and then dealing like max damage.
Yeah. Well, see how the chain is at 54? It keeps going up. Now it's 159. So the higher the chain goes, the higher our damage goes.
Deal. Yeah.
All right, Reaper is not the deadly one. So it's good that that this thing blocks Reaper, but Savage Sunder is the
one you want to avoid at all costs.
That's the one that'll end the run if it's mistimed and you're not ready for it. So yeah, we're doing this kind of with low hones too, where like I'm using Phantasm for Edge, which is a really old ability. not using any of the new 6-star stuff, like you can get Chain Stonejaw, but we're using Chain Stonejaw instead of Stain, or we're using, oh man, so we beat it at slightly over a minute. So
1-1.
Yeah, but that still means that we lose the 60-second under rewards.
Right.
But those aren't as good as they used to be. Now the rewards are based on you just get more Arcana, which is an item that you can use to level up your Magicites faster.
Okay.
So it's not as good as when the rewards were crystals and that sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, as I was saying, we'll go over the party so you can see it more specifically. But we're using not everybody's even capped level here, so.
Oh wow, yeah.
But that's like an easy investment to make.
Mm-hmm.
Not even
Just
all
put
of
in
our
the time.
Magicite are. Not even times. Like most people have, you can get growth eggs which cap your guys really quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not even using Chain Stonejaw, like the newest 6-star ability, which you can get from using rubies from Torment. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, we're using a lot of abilities that are older, so you don't have to use absolutely the best of the best and maximize all the hones and all that.
Right.
So you can beat him with kind of older tech and kind of older abilities.
Yeah, it's definitely has been proven by this video. So yeah, it seems like with the right strategy and the right team, you'd be able to like sub 60 him.
Yeah, I've sub 60'd him before. As you saw when we first went into that fight, when we entered the lightning thing, we were about to fight him. It showed the best time that I had so far. It wasn't that great. It was like 57 or something like that. But it was
still under 60.
Yeah, so everyone here has a boost to earth damage, but only for the armor. I don't have the gear that has boost to earth damage in the weapons.
Okay.
Edge doesn't have anything. He's just geared for magic because he's using his magic ability instead of the earth stuff like we talked about before.
Right.
Maria has earth boost and actually, yeah, Ingus has earth boost on the weapon. But he's doing physical damage, so that's why he was always hitting for like 600 or 1,000 because this guy resists physical so hard. Yeah, Meltdown is the only 6-star ability that we're using, and that's like the oldest one. Yeah, Maria there even has just Stonejaw regular, not Chain Stonejaw, but just Stonejaw. At the very, very, very beginning, we pop off a Protect Jaw and then one Stonejaw, and that, with the damage she also takes, leaves her perfect. She gives her the exact amount she needs to use her Soul Break.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So you can do more damage faster if you give these guys the better abilities.
Right.
But it won't take this team with this strategy, and the better abilities won't instantaneously make it a sub 30. So since we're already dealing with just the sub 60 range, I was like, okay, there's no need to go and spend a ton of resources to make sure you have even better abilities, because it's not gonna cut that next threshold.
Yeah, getting this to a sub 30 seems like it would take a lot more than just getting new resources. Like just a couple new pieces of armor or something like that.
Yeah. Well, in this game, the gear is what gives you your soul break abilities. So if you get the right gear, then you can just crush it with a better team altogether. Yeah, even the Magicite here is not ultimately good. This Hades thing, this Hand of Vengeance skill, this is what really boosts the damage. Like, it deals higher damage if you have lower HP. So if you spend the entire fight at 1 HP, it'll really boost your damage.
Yeah, caps your damage almost.
But yeah, you can really have better Magicite than I'm using here too, because I'm showing you don't have any inheritance on most of this stuff. You can really maximize stuff more efficiently than me. I have just one of these Magicite has inheritance level 4. So you can inherit on all the rest of them, and obviously you could pump the earth damage higher, or you could modify it in whatever way you want to eke more damage out of the team.
Right.
Yeah, Edge and Shelke are fully Legend Dive. Maria and Onion Knight are partially Legend Dive. Onion Knight is almost fully dived because you take him up to get the dual cast for black magic, but not for physical. And Maria, her first half of her dive is good. You can pump up her earth damage a lot like that. But it's not really needed to go and dive her the whole way because her final unlocked ability isn't that good. So if you want to conserve resources there, you can too. My Ingus has 0 dive He doesn't even have 3-star dive because whatever. You don't need to fully invest into every character.
Well, seems like you made really good progress so far with this team. I mean, you've already sub 60 them, so that's just a testament alone to you don't have to have top of the line stuff to be able to do that.
Yeah, with what I have, sub 30 is pretty much out of the question. If you do have a lot of the newer stuff and you try to go for a lot of Earth stuff specifically, then you could hope to do that. Yeah. But for me, that's not anywhere in the near future.
Yeah.
So I went with what I had, and we were able to pull it off.
Yep, indeed. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. So we will see you guys in the next episode of Final Fantasy Record Keeping.